KT final boss. Very, very scary, but they're going to take them on.
It's going to be so much fun. So to preview these finals in Korea, let's send it over to LCK caster MonteCristo.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We have a very exciting matchup happening in Korea this weekend with the Champions Summer Finals. Now, these two teams, SK Telecom T1 and KT Rolster, heading into the finals, have both been excellent this season. It would be an exciting matchup regardless, but it's even more exciting because of the rivalry between these two organizations. This is unquestionably the biggest esports rivalry in the world. It has lasted across many titles over nearly a decade right now, going all the way back to StarCraft 1. These two teams have filled stadiums in many numerous finals against each other, and we get to see them once again. The last time we saw them in League of Legends in a finals matchup was 2 years ago during the Champions Summer 2013 finals, in which SK Telecom managed to come back from an 0-2 deficit against the KT Bullets in order to win the Summer Championship, secure their spot for Worlds, and they also knocked the KT Bullets out of Worlds contention in doing so. Now, this is very important because this was a team on KT that was probably the second best team in the world at the time, and that finals is still my favorite best of 5 in League of Legends history. And now we get to see another SKT-KT final again. There are only 3 players from that final, but even going back to last year, Champion Spring in the group stages, Kakao on the KT Arrows promised to destroy the SK Telecom organization, and they managed to beat SKTK 2-0 in that group stage. This was right after SK Telecom had come off an undefeated season, winning Champions Winter without dropping a single game. So there's a lot of trash talk, there's a lot of rivalry that goes on between these two teams. Now, coming into this one, there's even more rivalry because Peekaboo, who was on SK Telecom in the spring season, is now the starting support for KT Rolster. Peekaboo's performance has been outstanding. Starting this season, we had 2 round robins. KT Rolster started 5-4 in best of 3s, and then with the addition of Peekaboo in the second round robin, moved to 8-1, only losing to SK Telecom 1-2. Meanwhile, SKT, coming off a 17-1 best of 3 season, dropping their only match to CJ Entus. But as we look into this series, not only is Peekaboo very important as a roaming support player, but we have arguably 2 of the top players in the world at their positions, 1 on each team. The premier matchup here is not 1-1 mid-to-mid, top-to-top. It's Someday, the top laner for KT, up against Faker, of course the mid laner for SK Telecom. Both of these players were neck and neck for MVP points this season, with Someday barely edging out Faker in the end to grab the regular season MVP award. Both players played 12 different champions, so they have an astonishing depth to their champion pool during the regular season. We're likely to see new picks come through also during this final. Both of these players have insane carry potential, and they are going to be the ones to watch. Whether Someday or Faker can get it done with the team, what surprises these 2 players have in store for us, and what new picks they have to throw the enemy off. Someday, we look at him, can play Yasuo, innovated that matchup versus Gnar, Riven, pentakill on Riven this season out of the top lane, but he also does Shen and Maokai very well, his top 2 picks. Faker, we know him for his Victor play this season, but he's also shown a large amount of depth, including playing bruisers in the mid lane, and we may very well see a mid lane Fiora, considering his solo queue record as of late. So very exciting to look at this. Now, what are the keys to this match? For KT, they're a team that thrives off of the synergy of Score, their jungler, and Peekaboo, their support player. When we saw their last matchup with Peekaboo, Game 1, KT managed to get into SKT's jungle, constantly fight with Score and Peekaboo, and KT is excellent off snowballing off that advantage. On the other side, SK Telecom, they play more for warding, but not as much of a scrappy style. SKT wants to win the the laning phase and then move into a victory by pressuring the entire map, all the outer turrets at the same time. They have a very low kill contribution percentage across their team as a result of their emphasis on the laning phase. So if they can get those big lane advantages and push it, that's what an SKT victory looks like. KT, on the other hand, much more about grouping, much more about team fighting and playing early skirmishes and getting advantages off of those early kills. It's going to be an absolutely amazing series, no doubt. Both of these teams are very similar in terms of skill. We have some immense superstars in Faker and Someday going into this match, and it's very difficult to predict what exactly we're going to see in terms of the drafts. I can't say it. Watch it. I think KT will edge this one out 3-2 because I think that the versatility of Someday in the top lane is very suited to the present meta, whereas Marin has a lot of meta picks, very stable, but not as diverse. Same thing could be said about Nagne in the mid lane. Meta picks, Faker more diverse, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Should be a stunning set regardless. And that's it from Seoul, South Korea. Be sure to tune in this weekend for the Champions Summer Finals.